I'm Nathaniel.
And it's me, Francisco.
We're going to be talking about the Sons of Liberty.
And this is our podcast,
Taxation without representation. So who were the Sons of Liberty?
The Sons of Liberty were an organization who dissented because of unfair rights and taxation.
But what was wrong with the taxation and unfair rights?
The British were taxing on newspapers, dice, tea, and playing cards.
What about the rights?
Oh, the colonists had the same rights as the British until the British went and started taxing everything.
So how did the colonists dissent?
Colonists held petitions to stop taxation and held the acts of property damage. They also harassed officers and also held assemblies and rallies. One of these boycotts led to
The Boston Massacre.
So, Nathaniel, what was the Boston Massacre?
A Boston Massacre was a group of colonists who threw snow and ice at redcoats, which were the British Army, and they opened fire, killing 5 and injuring 6.
So, Nathaniel, what happened because of the Boston Massacre?
After the Boston Massacre, the
The
Tea Act took place.
So, Nathaniel, what was the Tea Act?
The Tea Act was when the British wouldn't stop laying taxes on colonists, making them pay £1.2 million of tea, making colonists go bankrupt. Parliament passed a Tea Act for Indian companies to sell tea duty-free and cheaper. The Indian companies took after the British, giving heavy prices and heavy taxes. After the Tea Act, the
Boston Tea Party happened.
So how did the Boston Tea Party start?
The Boston Tea Party started because the Sons of Liberty hung a tax collector, which caused the British Army to raise taxes higher, which led to the Boston Tea Party.
What was the Boston Tea Party?
The Boston Tea Party was a little revolt against the British because of their heavy taxes and no representation on those taxes. The British Tea Party was organized by the Sons of Liberty, but mostly Samuel Adams and John Hancock led the Boston Tea Party. They revolted by dumping 342 chests of tea into the Boston Harbor. It was not 100% successful though, and Benjamin Franklin disapproved of this act. Although the first one was not successful, there was an additional Boston Tea Party, but it was in Maryland, New York, and South Carolina. But they were just tea parties, not Boston Tea Parties.
So in total, after the Boston Tea Party, the British went into great debt. Eventually, the colonists got what they wanted, which was representation. If you're wondering if any of them got caught in the Boston Tea Party, none of them did. They wiped the deck, cleaned their traces.
All of these dissents led to the Revolutionary War, and at the start of the war, the Sons of Liberty disbanded for good.